What's up, everybody? It's Risky Lizard. Just going to make a Season 1 overview guide here. For what little I do know about it, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I've never played through Season 1. This is just information I've figured out and accumulated so far. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of explain to you how the world map has changed and what we got going on. And what better thing to explain first than this resource tile? So anytime you kill one of these new Doom Elites, because this will eventually go away once it's fully gathered, just want to make sure that, you know, they're kind of rare, so that you actually get a chance to see one. This is what they look like, kind of like with the Sky Predator event. 10 people in your alliance can go here. There's a gathering speed boost, and you can get a big chunk of iron, coins, or bread from either of these, depending on which one it is. And they also have ones that will have, I believe, the mutant crystals and the virus. Sorry, not the virus, the protein. So you want to try to be getting as many of these as you possibly can, just to get all the resources that you can. So beyond that, again, they have a chance to spawn when you kill a Doom Elite. I'm not sure if it's only First Blood kills that have a chance to spawn it, or if it's just any Doom Elite. I've killed quite a few Doom Elites and I haven't spawned one, but someone next to me said that they killed a Doom Elite, and it spawned one, but it was their First Blood, so I'm not sure. So just kind of going into beyond that little opener here for these new resource caches. And keep in mind, these are not the same as your typical resource tiles. It's something completely different. So there we go. We all gathered it. Now our squads are coming back, and you get a little chunk of resources from that. So the way that the map changed is that it is now, less, I would say, puzzle piece like and more chessboard like. We have all of these different cities that are level 1 on the outskirts of the map all the way around, and you have level 2 cities, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, just like before, but they are a lot more, sectionalized here. And then you've got your capital here in the middle, of course, and whoever the president is at the end of preseason 1 ends up being the president here. So we still have all of our capital buffs and everything, so you don't have to worry about those going away. But as far as fighting to the capital, that is something that is still going to progressively happen. So going into, what all on the map has changed, something to keep in mind is that you now have access to level 12 resource tiles out here. When you use the search function on the map to try to find these level 12 resource tiles, because of how far you are to the edge of the map, it's not going to find them. So when you go to gather, make sure, like for the first day of verse, you're sending your stuff out here to gather these level 12 tiles, and they can be found pretty far out, so you don't have to be like in the mud of the capital to find them. You can typically find quite a few of the level 12s just out here laying around unoccupied, and I can go to one of my squads here. You can see level 12 coin, 12 coin, 12 coin, and so on. There's 12 bread, and as far as how far that is, it's kind of like down here on the corner of the capital. I'm not sure how far out they go, but that's another thing you want to do. Just kind of be mindful of, so you're getting as many resources as possible. And beyond that, good practice to get into for season 1 is just taking a good look around your base and just making sure you're not missing any of those resource tiles. But let's go ahead and get into the push for season 1 buildings and enemies. So the first thing that you are going to want to realize in season 1 is that everything now has a mechanic called virus resistance, and any enemy that you click on, you can see here it will have some amount of virus resistance, with the exception of level 1 stuff. Level 1 zombies, they don't have a virus resistance mechanic, but when you click on higher level ones, they have progressively higher and higher virus resistance. And you can see here and read this that basically the pollution and the virus resistance, it gives you damage reduction. So on this level 6 here, I have currently 650 virus resistance out of 1,000. My damage is reduced by 70%. That scales quite crazily. So going up to the level 7, 92% damage reduction. And my current is a level 9, and it's 99.9% damage reduction. So you can see that the maximum virus resistance is 1600 for no damage reduction. That's on a level 9. So when I summon a level 8, that one is 99.4%, but it's 200 virus resistance damage difference. So just a matter of 200 virus resistance makes it 99.9%. But between let's say a level 8 and a level 7, it's 1400 virus resistance for an 8, and for a 7, it's 1200 virus resistance. So, and it goes from 92% with just adding 200% additional virus resistance, goes from 92% all the way up to 99.4. So it scales quite parabolic and quite brutally. So you really need to work on getting virus resistance, and I'll explain that in a minute. But the other thing that you want to do is you want to be focusing on trying to always get your first blood for these. So if you look on the level 8, I've already gotten it, but when I click on the level 9, there is a first kill reward, and you get immune protein, and your immune protein is needed for upgrading your virus resistance, and you get mutant crystals. So the mutant crystals is used for upgrading your protein buildings. So you get mutant crystals only from the first time kills and various seasonal packs. I'll explain all the seasonal purchases later. I'm going to cover all of the mechanical stuff first. So that's basically how the map has mostly changed. Everyone was teleported to the outside of the map at the beginning of Season 1. Another thing to keep in mind is that as you attack things that have, and you have lower virus resistance, you're going to come back infected. So, for example, if I go to a zombie that's, level 12 here, something I'll probably lose on, but actually I've been meaning to try a level 13 for this one. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to attack this level 13 zombie, and keep in mind, it's only a level 13 zombie. It's not that strong, and I burned on it. So you see that little blue purple thing? That is 10 virus that I got. So that means that someone has to heal me, and the way that they heal me, you just typically want to take your base coordinates and share it in your alliance chat, and then people will send scout planes to heal you. And to show you how that mechanic works, there is friend Chaotic over here. You just click on their base, you click the green syringe, and you can send all your scout planes to them to help heal them. And if you're one of the real ones, like Ninja or Killstreak over here, then people next to you can really hurry up and bring your virus down. The mechanic to it is that once you get to level 100 for your virus, you're going to run into an issue where your base will blow up. And I'm not 100% sure, but we have these gaps in our hive where we are missing people, and they didn't choose to teleport away as far as I know. I'm pretty sure when their base blows up, it treats it like you've gotten ashed and your base is actually destroyed. So you get ported and you have to teleport back. So you want to do your friends a favor, always be scouting down their virus, and it sucks when you're really far away, but you can really do a lot more work on it a lot quicker if you're closer. So if you see somebody that's infected close to you, or you see people scouting somebody else, like I just did, just take some time to just send out 3 planes at the very least before you go on and do something else. So, let's see. That's pretty much all for the outer world mechanics. Covered how the map changed, covered how the resource tiles go up to level 12 now, and we covered how you want to get first blood on all of the Doom Elites and zombies until you burn. Once you burn, you may as well just stop, because you've basically reached a plateau for your virus resistance, and you're not going to be able to kill anything until you get your virus resistance up. So now I'm going to explain all of those mechanics through the buildings. And here in your base, from your base view, there's this platform that was added out by the front of your base, and you just see I just collected the mutant protein, or the immune protein, sorry. I got that confused with the mutant crystals. So the immune protein comes from these buildings called protein farms, and you can see here that I've got protein farm 1, 2, 3, 4, or sorry, that's 5. No, that's 4, sorry. And then 5 is the one that I bought for the Season Weekly Pass exclusive. So the Season Weekly Pass exclusive is in the Season tab over on the right over here, where my cursor is. You click that, and then there's the Weekly Pass right here in the middle, and you can buy this. And this only lasts for 7 days. It tells you how many days are left, but that you get an extra protein farm for it. And this has no requirements whatsoever. You also get an extra 200 and I believe 50 virus resistance. And having this right out the gate is really helpful, because you saw just a difference of 200 virus resistance was the difference between 94% damage reduction and 99.4% damage reduction. So 200 is a big deal for the first couple of weeks, but you also get to, you get these mutant crystals. These mutant crystals are used for upgrading just your protein farms. So when you go to build these, you need the mutant crystals to make these higher level. And the, you get the VIP points, some stamina, and some speed ups for your daily pickups. So you keep getting these mutant crystals, which is really good for pushing your protein farm along so that you can continue to collect your immune protein. So the immune protein goes into this building, which is the Virus Research Institute. And you can see here, I'm very close to being able to level this up. But when I level this up, my virus resistance is going to go from 400 to 500. And this is basically your bread and butter for Season 1, is getting your virus resistance as high as possible. Because you need high virus resistance to take on the first blood for your zombies, to get these crystals to build higher level protein to get protein faster, and you need higher level virus resistance to get the first blood for your Doom Elites as well, so that you can again get these big chunks of rewards. 40k is a lot for mutant crystals to upgrade your protein farms, again, to get more protein, again, to be stronger. So why do you need to keep pushing virus resistance? It's not just for the Doom Elites and the zombies. You need to push it because when you go to take these strongholds, these enemies require like 2800 virus resistance. And not everybody in the Alliance needs to have 2800 virus resistance. Only the person who starts the rally against this monster needs to have that virus resistance. Then everybody else who joins that rally will share the leader's virus resistance. So that's an important note. So if you're not a whale and you have a few whales in your server, just try to join their rallies. You'll still be able to do damage. You will literally just copy whatever their virus resistance is for the leader, and so on. So the other thing is, before you can even attack the Stronghold boss, you also have to kill all of these little zombies around here. You can see they're 14s and 13s, and even those take 1500 virus resistance. It's only about 3.5 hours after reset, and I was able to get to, right now, I'm at 400 virus resistance, and because I bought the Season Pass weekly, I also get the benefit of this additional virus resistance. There it is up there at the top. Virus resistance increased by 250%. And you can check your current virus resistance up here on the top left by your power and your profile picture. This little gas mask here, or chemical mask, is going to show your virus resistance. I'm currently at 650 total. You can also click on any world boss monster and it'll tell you, so long as you're under leveled, what your virus resistance is. But how do you find these buildings and how do you place them? I'm going to go ahead and just upgrade this really quick because I want the extra virus resistance. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, as a new server, there are different progressions. So these are called world dynamics, and your whole server contributes to these goals, and they come out in different stages. So you can see I can't click 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 to even see what's coming. I can only click 1 and 2. So on 1, right at reset, the whole war zone was able to donate food in all the war zones to unlock the Virus Research Institute. So we all contributed. We donated 10, and you could also donate diamonds to make it go. And then the protein farm, this is the first protein farm. So we all donated to get this one unlocked, and once they are unlocked, over here on the right side there is a chest that you will be able to click that I've already clicked, but that will learn the blueprint for the protein farm and the Research Institute. So once you have those blueprints learned, then you want to go down here on the left to your hammer, and you want to go to your seasonal buildings. There's also economy and military and stuff, but you want to click on seasonal, and you want to build your first protein farm. This one, protein farm 1, because there's multiple. So once you build protein farm 1, which is here for me, you want to level it up only to level 10. Do not level it up higher than level 10, and there's a good reason for that. It costs a lot of mutant crystals to upgrade these buildings, and you're very limited in the start as to how many you have. You can see up here on the left how many you have and where you get them from. It's from first kill rewards, it's from the weekly pass, and it's from the season battle pass. So it's very time gated and just a very, very, very gated resource. So you don't want to go past level 10, and the reason why is because once you get protein farm 1 unlocked as a war zone. Once it gets to level 10, you automatically unlock Protein Farm 2. And then you can go here to the hammer on the bottom left, click Protein Farm 2, and build it. And then again, you want to level this one up to only level 10. The reason why is the exact same. Once this one is level 10, you will be able to build Protein Farm 3 immediately. You can see where I'm going with this. By getting these to level 10 only, you have the ability to unlock these a lot faster. All of them. With the exception of the Season Pass one. This one automatically unlocks when you buy the Season Pass, and you just use the hammer and you can place that one. It's right here, Protein Farm Season Pass exclusive, the weekly exclusive, and you can build that one right away and get it to level 10. But that one you don't need to level up as high of a priority because it's not required to get any of the other ones to level 10. For example, the Protein Farm 1, you don't need to get your season exclusive to any specific level to level up Protein Farm 1. So it's just Protein Farm 1. After you place it, get it to 10. Protein Farm 2. After you place it, get it to 10. Same with 3, get it to 10. Then you unlock 4, get it to 10, and then go back and upgrade them all sequentially. And I recommend doing Protein Farm 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your Season Pass one in that order. I accidentally upgraded this one to 12 already, but, to show that I would practice what I would preach, I still need to get my level 11 one here up to 12 so that you're getting as much as much immune protein as possible from the farms, and then you use that, upgrade the Virus Institute, and this will give you virus resistance. And you can see here my next upgrade, now that I'm at 500, it's actually going to go up considerably at level 6. It's going to go up 250 instead of just 200. So this also is a little bit parabolic in terms of the increase. So you'll eventually get big chunks of virus resistance. It won't be a slow crawl all the way to 2000. It'll be a lot better once this is level 10 and so on. So those are all the Season 1 buildings for now, and there are other Season 1 buildings, so I'll explain those as well. On the hammer here, you can see for Season that we have 3 other ones that are locked. There's the tank base, air base, and the missile vehicle base. So these buildings you can see here in the first bracket for the world dynamics that they're going to unlock on April 7th for me, and April 8th and April 9th. So they're like different things that are going to open here. And it kind of tells you that genetic recombination is unlocked, the cities unlock, and then in the second bracket there's all of these different things. So these centers aren't going to unlock for a while, but when they do, there'll be a bar here that's empty, and everybody will contribute at the war zone level, asking whatever it is. So this one is total mutant crystals donated, and then you'll just claim it by clicking the chest. And again, that's what I did for these two. There was a chest here, claim those blueprints and built them, and it's the same chest. You'll click that and be able to claim those. So the centers are similar to the ones in your base. So if you go here in your base, you have your missile and your tank and your aircraft centers. I would recommend upgrading the ones that you've had the whole time, upgrading those first, because at the end of Season 1, you're going to actually lose all of your season buildings. So they are going to go away, so it's not worth sinking a ton of resources in. I'm not sure if it takes Season 1 specific resources only, or if it's going to take actual iron bread and coins, but definitely get your regular centers up to 30 before you put a whole lot into it. Unless it's just really cheap to upgrade them for really really easy power bonus. I personally haven't played Season 1, so I'm not super sure. But that's just how I would go about doing it as a priority in the beginning. Sorry, I had to get that dig. Can't live without drone parts. So right at the beginning of Season 1, we went into a verse competition as well. So it's not worth saving these buildings for the next day. It'd probably be really easy verse points, but being a day behind on this stuff can lead to being potentially weeks behind down the road, because getting ahead early on is very important. So another big thing when you're building in Season 1 is always leave one spot open and available so that you can upgrade these as soon as you get the chance to, so that you're always maximizing your protein that you can use to build your Virus Institute, because you want to get this up as high as possible. And that's pretty much the whole mechanics of the buildings and everything, and how it coincides with the world map, and fighting bosses and enemies, and the virus mechanic pretty much explained. There are some other bonus things I will cover real quick, but that's pretty much it for Season 1, conquering strongholds and stuff and needing virus resistance. So going into the other stuff for Season 1 that you're going to notice, you're probably going to find in your inventory there's this UR token, and it's a legendary hero badge, and you can use it in the hero promotion event to promote a specific epic hero to a hero or a legendary hero. This is going to be used for Mason, and the event that they are talking about, if you click on the season tab on the right, and then you go... Actually, no, that's not it. Sorry. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. So I was trying to figure out how to get here without using the hammer menu, because when you use the hammer menu, you can click these locked ones and it takes you here to the world dynamics automatically. But you can also click the season tab right here on the right, and then click Season 1 up here at the top, and then you can just click on these numbers and it'll tell you the different, I'm pretty sure this is weeks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is weeks. So in week 2 is what they're talking about, and you have the ability when this event is going on, they have the hero promotion. I'm not sure if you have to do it during this event or if you just unlock the ability to do it when you're ready, but you will be able to turn Mason from an SSR purple hero to a UR gold hero, and he's going to get a pretty significant power boost for it. If you already have a full tank squad of UR heroes, like Stepman, Kimberly, Marshall, Williams, and Murphy, he's not going to replace any of these, but Mason is essential for hitting a ton of damage on code bosses because he buffs the entire back row for tanks against monsters. So his skills are going to see a huge boost here. This 10% is going to go up dramatically, so it's going to be way more worth it for him to be a UR than an SSR. But before you do that, there is something to consider. So if you use that token right away and you make him a UR character, I believe he will only go up to 3 stars if he is between 3 stars, or if you already have him at 5 stars, he'll be 3 stars. If you don't have him at 5 stars, I think he just converts to a UR that's 0 stars. But I'm operating under the assumption that your Mason is already a 5-star Mason. But basically what you are going to want to consider is what his level is on the wall before you use the token they're going to put in your inventory. So this hero badge, you're going to want to hold on to it, I think, because when he gets to level 160 on the wall, that's this number below his profile picture right here, when he's at level 160 and you use the hero badge, he will automatically become a 5-star UR hero. And they refund you all of the shards that you've put in on the wall so far. So it takes 10 per promotion. So 10 times 160 is 1,600 Mason shards that they are just going to refund to you in your inventory. I'm not sure if that is in addition to making him 5 stars, or if it's the amount of shards, between how close you were to having him to 160 on the wall and just him being on the wall at all. But as long as he's on the wall, I believe, and you need him to be 5 stars to get him on the wall, I believe that he will be at least 3 stars when you use the UR badge. But then after he's on the wall, you want to get him to 160 before you use that token, because it'll automatically make him 5 stars, and you should get refunded a total of 1,600 Mason specific shards. So even though you would have used purple universal shards and Mason shards on him, all the shards they give you back will be just Mason shards. But then you can turn around and put all of those purple shards they give you back into him on the wall. When you go to upgrade him as a UR character, he still takes purple Mason shards. He doesn't get a UR shard. It's not yellow or gold, sorry. So it does take, however, significantly more shards to upgrade him. So when you go to his tier and you're trying to upgrade his stars, for each fragment of the 4th star, at least what I saw in another video, it took 120 Mason shards that were purple per fragment of a 4th star. So it might be cheaper just to get him to 160 on the wall than getting him to just 4 stars, for example, because 120 times 5 is 600, so that's going to be 600 shards. For me, if I would rather spend, the next, I have 30 levels left on him roughly after I put these 7 upgrades into him. So that would be 30 times 10 or 300 shards. It would only take me 300 shards to get him to 160 to make him 5 stars versus, making him 5 stars now, getting refunded all of my shards, but then it's going to take me just 600 to get him to 4 stars. So I'm personally waiting until he's 160 on the wall. That's just me. But this is a big Season 1 key feature. And then, of course, in Season 2, there is Violet. She is a tank hero. You'll be able to also get her to UR, but that's Season 2. So you do want to make sure you get her to 5 stars. And after you get Mason turned UR, or at least get him to 160 on the wall, you want to start working on Violet and getting her to 160 on the wall so that you get the same benefit when you convert her in Season 2. And Season 1 is kind of short, so it's definitely something you want to get to work on doing sooner rather than later. Beyond Season 1, the other thing you're going to get in Season 1 is this building. This is the ICU, or the Emergency Center, and here you have like a cooldown period, but I think it's every, for me, 2 days and some amount of hours, I think probably like 9 or 10 hours, you get the ability to claim units that have basically died. So anytime your units die when you do like Doom Elites or burn on a Doom Walker or something, you lose them forever, but you have a chance to claim fainted units who have died from the ICU. And you get to do this on a cooldown. There is a strategy for doing this. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but you basically want to wait until it is full, because if you have, if this red bar for your fainted units isn't full and you claim it, it still goes on cooldown. I made a mistake and I claimed just 500 on it before I had upgraded it a little bit, so I put mine on cooldown pretty much right away, and I only got 500 units, but you can see here there's currently 745 units in there, and if I had just upgraded the building a little bit more and given them more room, then I could have made more of that, long-term cooldown. But you can see here it still takes resources to pull them out, just like with healing them. I'm pretty sure this is maybe a bit more resources, maybe not, but those are fainted units, and again, those are units that are not going to go to your hospitals here. These are wounded units, so it's not the same. These are ones, as they say, fainted. Think of it as dead. This is where your dead units go and they bring them back to life, or you have an option to bring them back to life. So that's kind of it for the Season 1 building so far, except for the weapon centers. I'm not able to access those, but again, before you place any of the tank base, air base, or missile vehicle base down, I recommend still focusing on upgrading these, so long as those new ones don't take iron, bread, and coins to upgrade. I'm assuming it's going to take Season 1 materials to upgrade, but if it doesn't, I would just prioritize these because, again, these are going to go away. So let's see here if I got anything else. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything for you. I think that's it. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about are the different things you can purchase for money. These are pretty important as well. One quick thing before I get into things that you can purchase for money, because most people have already purchased it, but you can get this pumpkin base. And if you go here and click on them and you click this like button, it's not the like button here on their profile. This is liking the profile. If you click on the base and click this like button, then you will get a gift. I've already liked this one. You can only like them once, but you'll get some speed ups. So anytime you see a pumpkin base, I can actually almost guaranteed find one somewhere else over here, because they have a bunch of people who bought the pumpkin all over our map. So here, I haven't liked this base yet, so when I click on it and I like it, you'll see that I get 5 5-minute speed ups, and it's a one-time reward. It's not even a daily, it's a one time. So you just go around and you find pumpkins on your map. Anyone who has paid for that skin, you can get a free 25-minute speed up out of it, basically, or 5-minute speed ups. So consider that. Oh, the disrespect of that sitting there. But yeah, that's basically the only last world map thing. But this is kind of a pay to win sort of thing, so keep that in mind. It's not something that you can just have. You have to pay for it to get it, and base skins typically run you about $300 US. So going through the season 1 tabs, this top tab here, you can see, oh yeah, it was week 1. So for week 1, there are certain things that are unlocked, and everything is of course time gated. So for week 1, you know, this first event, everybody in the war zone had to donate food to unlock the virus research institute, and then there is the protein farm that we unlocked, and then, you know, there's the next day and the next day and the next day. There's something to do as far as dailies, which is kind of nice. But you know, I'm not sure what any of these things are, honestly. I haven't really done any season 1 stuff, but Mason's the next big one, and you know, cities unlocking, that's a big deal too, because eventually you're just going to want to, depending on your server's arrangement, fight your way to the middle. And the biggest thing for the cities and the strongholds is there's, well, not for the strongholds, but you know, there's some rewards there for conquering the strongholds, but for the cities. So here, there's a brewery, and it'll tell you protection stage, so it can't be attacked for 3 days, 8 hours, and 4 minutes and 50 seconds. But there's a first time capture, and you want to make sure you're trying to prioritize this as an alliance, because these first time capture rewards help boost your virus resistance, aka your strength. So, but you also get nice chunks of rewards for capturing all of these, and of course those rewards get better and better and better for first time captures for the cities and everything too. So, and you get these things called influence points, which means capturing cities increases your alliance's influence. The higher your city level, the more influence points you'll gain. The influence is vital for season rankings. So your cities held and your season ranking and stuff like that, that's all for much later. Not very important right now. Looks kind of like Stonehenge. That's cool. So here you can see, you know, some rankings and leaderboards for people who are just insanely strong in whales. I know that the Destroyer here, he is like a huge whale who spends more money on the game than God probably would. Pharaoh's pretty strong, also a whale. Wagyu Steak, he is also a whale. So all of these individuals, they're ranked the way they are because their marches are just so strong to begin with that even when they get something like 99.4% damage reduction, they can still do enough damage to meet that minimum power threshold to basically be able to kill the level 15 zombies. But these are like insanely strong people with like multi-million power marches, like, you know, 30 or 40 million power marches, and you can see that the damage reduction is just the end all be all in the virus resistance because they can only kill 15 and 18 zombies right now. But you can go here and check your rankings. You know, highest I've gone is 12 so far. But you know, Shusher, another huge whale. Corbin, whale. Gick, whale. All of these people, whales. Every single one of them, all whales. Literally. Maybe not him, actually. So he's actually doing pretty good. And this is just kind of to show that even if you're not a huge whale, there is kind of an advantage to playing the time game and getting ahead of everybody, because, you know, it's not to say that he didn't do this with the help of the whale and his alliance down here, but you know, keeping your virus resistance high and on top of it, it makes you able to compete with these people at the higher level. So definitely something you want to prioritize. So that was under Purge action. The weekly pass, I bought it. I covered that. Extra protein farm, extra virus resistance, your marching speed bonus, super important for taking cities. Mutant crystals for upgrading protein farms, super important. Lasts for a week. You only need to buy it for the first few weeks, and then you don't have to buy it anymore. But the protein farm will go away, but you'll probably get more protein than you'll ever need after that. So the next thing is the season battle pass. I bought this. I think the first one is $5 and the next one is $20. So it's about $25 US for the whole thing, but the rewards are just insane. And it's just one of those things where if you enjoy playing the game, it is worth it to invest money in some places. And this is just one of those things where you get a ton of mutant crystals for upgrading your protein farms, which helps you get virus resistance faster because you get protein faster to upgrade your research or your virus institute. But you also get this upgrade ore in here, these chests. So I got like 8,000 upgrade ore when I opened mine, and you also have a gear chest in here, and I was able to get one legendary weapon that I was able to put on one of my missiles here. So I got that out of a gear chest. It's usually purple gear, but I got lucky this time. But keep that in mind that, you know, there's some benefits there if you don't have fully geared squads, and you can always break that down and get 750 dielectric ceramics. So that's just something to consider. The rewards on this table are really good because you also get profession experience, and profession experience is huge because back at your professions in the base, you've got, you know, for me, engineer, you click this plus symbol and you can unlock any of the experience you've currently got and use it here. But once you level that up, the higher level you go, you can see you get more experience for leveling up your profession. Up here you get, you know, infection spread. You can inflict others with a virus by defeating them after you've been poisoned. So there's a PvP advantage here because if you're infecting people with virus, when they get to 100, again, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they get ashed. Like their base just can explode and they have a timer. So that's kind of a cool mechanic that I think is kind of funny, honestly. But then, let's see, so you can remove your own virus stacks by curing an ally. This is actually huge if you don't have anyone around to scout you. You can just go and scout others, but you only get 3 scout planes, so that might take a while. Best to just post your coordinates in the chat, but again, I don't want to go through this whole tree and the importance of all of these, but you know, a lot of these you have like build advantage timers and stuff with cooldowns, research advantage timers reductions, so there's a lot of really cool stuff that makes leveling this up definitely worth it that you can only get in the season pass stuff in here. So I went ahead and got it, but I don't mind investing a little money in the game. I really enjoy it. For the season boost tab here, this is showing the benefits of having the pumpkin cauldron. I'm not sure if they're going to make this reattainable, but a lot of people got it from the Valentine's Day event for us to be prepared for season 1. And then of course right now we have Mason. He's got increased damage against monsters. Other characters are going to unlock as we progress through season 1. It'll be DVA, Kimberly, and Tesla, I believe, are the other 3. Kind of unfair if you ask me, because tanks get 2 people to get 5% increased damage on monsters, but that doesn't necessarily make them the meta for season 1. But it is nice that Kimberly and Mason will both have 5% each, so that could possibly be really good for hitting the code boss and other things. But don't have access to these yet, so they're not open, but all you have to do is just kind of click on these events and read into them, and you know, you'll be able to learn. It's not super complicated. It's just about clicking on all of the things, doing a little bit of reading, and you'll figure it out. But as far as things to buy, at the beginning of season 1, you can see here, I definitely spent some money, about $120 so far. But again, I don't mind spending money on games I enjoy. But you know, there's progression passes. I will eventually buy this, but I'm gonna wait till the arms race changes because it gives diamonds, and you know, 1,000 diamonds is 30,000 points for an arms race. So this can auto complete my arms race. This will complete half of an arms race or the hero advancement arms race automatically, and I can, you know, save the hero experience. But I always do these because I like the drone parts and the upgrade ore, but the speed ups are also good. But I always pick the speed ups in the second one, and then I always pick the upgrade ore as well because this is a daily thing. And of course, if you do buy this pass, even if you buy it on like the 7th day, you get all 7 day worth of rewards. You just get to claim them all on the 7th day. So you could think about it if you want it, but if you don't want it, it's fine. I don't think the stamina is worth it. I don't think the experience is worth it. The resource chests, honestly, probably the more worth it thing because coins are so hard to come by. But apart from, you know, being resource gated, the ceramics can be really important too. But I stick with the resource chests. But that's pretty much all there is for the hot deals. There was also another pack here. I bought all of them. It goes up to $50. It was $5, $10, $20, and $50. But it was one to I can actually show you these, I forget. It was the Mutant Crystal packs. So you can see here that this was the $5 one, and I got 20,000 crystals, and I got 500 diamonds. Sorry, that's the weekly pass. I don't know why I lied. There we go. But you can see that this is it. Sorry, it was below it. Yeah, so here, this was the $5 pack. You get some mutant crystals and some speed ups, all really helpful. Again, crystals and speed ups, crystals and speed ups, crystals and speed ups, and this is a ton. And the reason why I got those is because of I'm not sure where I was going with that. The reason I got these is to upgrade my protein farms. Again, goes here, mutant crystals, and you upgrade these to get more of the immune protein, which I just got, and you get the immune protein to upgrade your virus resistance, and you upgrade your virus resistance to be able to fight higher level Doom Elites and kill them. And you'll see that even for a level 8 with 750 virus resistance, there's a pretty good chance I have of technically beating these, especially with a little bit of help from my allies. So that is something to kind of consider as far as priority, just getting your virus resistance up so that you can actually do all of these things. And keep in mind, even though my virus resistance is lower, it's only a 94% damage reduction. For me, my squad has a march of 18.8 million, so dividing that by 10 would be 1.8 million. So if I only have 10% damage that I'm doing, then I've got a 1.8 million march, roughly. So the recommended march for this is 1.8, and it's 94% damage reduction, so I might burn, but see, I didn't. So technically, I should have burned, but I didn't burn, because you can do a little bit more than what the recommended power does if you've got good gear, good research and stuff like that. What horrible person spawned a level 26 Doom Elite by me? Okay, anyway, that's pretty much Season 1 in a nutshell of what to buy. There's one other place I wanted to show you, which is the mall. I think they added some things here in the mall because I saw them in one of the packs. Nope, it's not there. It's not in the weekly deals. Oh, here it is. Profession Experience Pack. This is what I saw. And you can only buy 5 of these every week, but this will help you level up your profession. I don't know if these escalate in price or if they just... I think these just stay at $10, but for $50 you can get some profession experience to level up your profession building here and get more of these skills unlocked. I'm not personally going to do that because I don't mind paying to play, but I don't like to pay to win. I like to actually enjoy the progression of the game and not buy my way to the end. So that's just me personally, not judging anyone that does it. But when you go to level up your profession, you can get a shortcut to that menu by clicking the plus button, and it's right there. This pack right here with the 1,000 diamonds, 10,000 experience, it's the same pack that's actually in this weekly store right here. So that's kind of a walkthrough of all that. Of course, I have the monthly pass I still buy, but there's not really anything else pertaining to Season 1 that is added to the store that I've noticed anyway. That's pretty much all there is to it. And as usual, if you have any questions, sorry it's a long video, but just wanted to make sure I covered everything. Always here to answer any of your questions you got.